Hello, my name is James and welcome to a limited video here on Cheap Ass MTG. I'm going to be playing some Kaladesh Sealed today, testing for GP London, which is coming up this weekend. Possibly last weekend by the time this goes online. So first, it's the pre-release sealed event. So first days it's been up on Go. So I'm building a sealed port and start by sorting by rarity. See what bombs are opened up. So nothing super great here. So Cultivated Caravan's a brilliant card. Fixes your mana and ramps you and turns into a threat. It's not exactly a bomb, but it's very good. Fumigate's obviously great. Sweepers are good and limited. Tend to be able to get, a nice 2-for-1 off something, off a sweeper at least. This one does gain you some life back, which is nice as well. Combal is fine, like you'd play him in a black-white deck, but nothing too crazy. Captured by the Consulate I like a lot, particularly in Sealed. So in Sealed, everyone's going to be playing a bunch of removal, and having a spell which turns off your opponent's removal is really nice. This can often be like a fantastic 2-for-1 where they end up having to kill their own creature with their own removal spell, which is pretty crazy. So two good white cards. Rick got an Aether Squall. If you're a slow enough deck, this can obviously be a very good way to win the game. Animation Module, this was one where, so when you get +1/+1 counters, you may pay 1. If you do, you get a servo. And then you may, if something has a +1/+1 counter on it, you can put another counter on it. Okay, that's fine, I guess, if we have a bunch of Fabricate cards. Okay, so we'll now just go ahead and sort by colour. And first thing I'm going to do is just take out all the unplayable cards from each colour. For example, this camel. If I'm leaving in even the bad filler at this point, I'm just taking out the things which should never play. And I do include Curio Vendor in that for the purpose of Sealed. I think you can't really just play a 2-mana 2-1, which doesn't do anything. I really don't like Revolutionary Rebirth in Limited, but it's possible we end up playing one. Genius. Okay, so blue looks decent. White, aside from Fumigate and Captured by the Consulate, is very mediocre. Blue is fine. It's not great. We have one malfunction in the way of removal. The Ancient's obviously good, as is Theorist. Black is not looking great at all. Yeah, black looks pretty bad, in fact. Demolish, I think we can actually play in Sealed. There's a lot more artifacts around in Draft. Welding Sparks is very good. Torch Renegade is very good. Grubs are fine. Ruinous Gremlin, maybe you can play. It's worse than Demolish, I think. Okay, and then green is certainly, we have a lot of green cards. Let's see if any of them are any good. Tiger's very good. Outrider's very good. Wild Wanderer's good fixing. Thriving Rhinos. I think that's all. Okay, so green is looking pretty strong so far. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so green looks fairly strong to me. So let's just go ahead and look through our artifacts. Put the lands over there for a minute. Animation modules may be playable, I'm not sure. Hogwarts Puzzle Knot, I guess we should just put in with white, but honestly I can't really imagine playing it. Construct is fine. So we should probably just put some of these artifacts with their colours. As we have 3 Cobras, some green, that's really nice. Torch Gauntlet, sure. Pillbug is maybe playable outside of black, I'm not sure. Probably not. These Renegade Freighters are quite nice if you're aggressive enough. I don't like the Arandara Express as much. Basically, with vehicles, either ones with the lowest crew costs tend to be much better. Like this Express, which is crew 4, is just asking a lot of the card, really. The card just asks a lot of you, basically. You know, is often just not going to do anything at all, because you don't have 4 power on the board. Okay, so my initial inclination is to try and play green, because green looks really strong to me. So I'm just going to put all our green cards in, which we want to play, and then go from there. Got some good energy singes here already, probably enough to play this Sage between like the Tigers and the Long-Tusked Cub. Nature's Way is excellent. Durable Handicraft, we might be fine. Where was the sideboard card? Okay, so we've got 16 good green cards, which I'm very happy to play. And we also have some decent fixing in here between... we're probably playing at least one of these freighters as well. Put both in for now. And yeah, between the Wild Wanderer and the Cultivator's Caravan, we are fairly well set up to splash as well. So we saw we had some decent removal in red, I think. So we've got Welding Sparks. And this 8th Torch Renegade is pretty good. And goes nicely with Long-Tusked Cub as well. And the rest of our red is like fairly mediocre. Like Monis is fine. Grubs are fine, I guess. This is like playable. We just don't have that much removal though in our pool as a whole, which concerns me quite a lot. Like our opponents are going to have some bombs, and we don't really have a lot of ways to deal with that. So we could try and play white for this Fumigate and Captured by the Consulate. It's possible that's correct because like green is so deep, and we have a couple of playable vehicles that maybe we can kind of get away without much depth from our second colour. You know, it does give us a bit of more removal as well. Like this isn't a good this isn't what you'd call a good Fumigate deck. It's not a deck that really wants a sweeper, but you tend to be able to leverage them well enough to your advantage in Limited that you can basically put a sweeper in any deck and it'll be good. I guess these Eddy Tail Hawks are actually quite good with our giant green things as well. Okay, so white looks a little better to me than red. It's possible we could splash Welding Sparks. That might be a little on the greedy side. We have like a million 2-drops. We don't need this many 2-drops at all. On the other hand, most of them are quite good. We could cut a Cobra. I normally quite like this card though. Also, like, all our 2-drops other than the Hawks crew these freighters. Which is not nothing. I think between like the Hawks and the Long-Tusked Cub and 2 Thriving Rhinos, we're definitely playing this Sage. I mean, this deck is really bad for Fumigate. I don't know if it's... Like, I think it is still correct to play it, probably. Just because if it's like in your opening hand, then you can... You know, play out a couple of vehicles, maybe, or just, like, one creature to block, make your opponent overcommit. And obviously, like, if you're behind, this card's amazing. I think just straight green-white is probably correct here. Like, the only thing I'd consider splashing, really, is this, the Welding Sparks. If we're not splashing Welding Sparks, I think we cut Wild Wanderer. Because it just doesn't do that much. Our curve only goes up to 5. Out of blue is like the other decent colour, I think, but just because like the Ancient's really good, and then these 2 Peafowls are fine. And the Theorist and Malfunction are quite good. I guess Glimmer of Genius too. So maybe we should have a look at that. It doesn't really give us any more removal though. I do kind of like these. I think this can be quite an aggressive deck, and with these two hawks, powering up, giving flying to our big creatures, I think that could be quite strong. We could just run it like this, that wouldn't be unreasonable. Make like one cut. Okay, I'm gonna look at the green-blue deck briefly, but I think I want to play this green-white deck. I want all of this stuff. Probably want Glimmer of Genius too. Wingspliff's probably fine. Drake's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, this is like a fine deck. It just doesn't have, like, just having the one malfunction, losing Fumigate, I think it probably isn't worth it to try and get this Ancient in here. I mean, this does win you the game very often, but it is a 7-drop. So there's a lot of games it won't win you because you can't cast it. If we were running this deck, we'd probably cut at least one of these freighters. Yeah, I think I do prefer the green-white version, though. This Herald of Affair would be fine as well, actually, given that we have so many 2-drops, and we are actually looking fairly aggressive. So maybe we cut a Cobra. Oh, we still have these P-files in here, that's why we have loads of cards. Maybe bring in like the Herald of Affair for something. Maybe we just cut Fumigate and just play this as like a green-white aggro deck. I can certainly see that being correct. I think I just want to do this though. Seems reasonable to me. I suppose the only thing about cutting those Cobras, they are very good with Nature's Way. They are not the most aggressive creatures in the world. Especially in a land of servos. Okay, I'm just going to check there's nothing we want out of here. Animation module, we have Rhino, I guess it's fine with, and Long Tusk Hub, and Seed Sculptor, sorry. But I don't think that's enough. Oh, we have a Snare Thopter in here? Oh, I totally missed that. That is definitely getting in the deck. Nothing else I've missed, is there? No. Okay. Though it's worth noting we have this Inspiring Vantage as well, if we did want to try and splash Welding Sparks. Okay, well, let's cut this Herald then. We're not a million miles away from being able to play 16 lands, but I think this is just probably too many 5s. So if we're going to play Welding Sparks, we probably want to cut... But I don't want to cut a creature, I don't think. I don't really want to cut any of these cards. Yeah, I think we actually just run this like a straight green-white deck. And I think it looks pretty solid. It's more aggressive than most sealed decks are going to be in this format, I think. And we can maybe catch some people out. Do we want 10-7 or do we want 9-8? That's the question. We are trying to cast Fumigate at some point. We do have a bunch more green cards. I guess 9-8. Okay, I'll see you back for round 1.